I want to piggyback on this subject just a little bit because when I think, people say WWE style, I think about the hard camera and doing things with a hard camera, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
and
Right. Do you
and
want me to go
sometimes,
into that?
yeah. Well, I
People
want to
people bring up that all the time.
I want to
So
ask
right.
about this part of it, and then please just say whatever you want because
Yeah.
I love talking about this stuff. But at what point is it too much? Because I've seen, especially NXT level, people do a move and almost dance around the person, or make a big show of going to the hard camera versus making it more natural. Or when is it
Yeah.
just you don't do it because it's too obvious?
It's too obvious. Well, that takes time. But you got to think of the audience at home. You can be the best wrestler in the world. You can have the best facials. If you're doing it away from the cameras, nobody at home can see you doing it. Right?
Right, right.
What I'm going to show you now is you can see this. I'm not going to get too far into this because anybody who's got half a brain or if you work in it getting filmed, now that I'm telling you this, watch this. A good director of any TV show or any movie will never let you see the back of anybody's head for more than a split second. Unless I can think of one really good example when you do see the back of somebody's head, which is Ving Rhames' head in when you first see him in Pulp Fiction.
You got to get that Band-Aid and that head in there.
But
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you've got the Band-Aid on the back, and then you hear his voice, which is captivating. So by the time you do see him, boom.
The only
But
example you
right
can think
now,
of
so
was
what I'm going to show you now, Matt, we just explained about a producer of a TV show, not show. So here's me.
right.
What am I doing now?
No way to tell. Your back is to me.
Right. Am I happy, mad, glad, sad?
No way to tell.
No way to tell. If the cameras can't see you, how can they make you a star? If you're doing all your great moves, yes, it's great for the people sat on the opposite side of the cameras, but the people at home, what can they see? And usually, it doesn't matter, and unless you have an incredible move set, you emotional connection of this, 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 this. So yes, it takes a long time to learn that, and sometimes people don't care, but you're missing crucial shots. And I can go on a long time about why cameras are important, but I've hit on something with the younger generation. I've this term, it's all about the gifts, right? Everybody likes to be gift. You cannot gift something you cannot see.
That's
So
very true.
instead of me spending a lot of time explaining that, think about how important it is that you make sure the cameras can see you. And also remember that the cameramen on the side of the ring have undoubtedly the hardest job in wrestling. Those gentlemen have to carry those cameras, which weigh 50 to 60 pounds, on their shoulders for 4 to 5 hours a night every show. They have got to stand there. If you want to go and just put a £5 on your shoulder or £10 and see how long you can hold it, and they have to stand there like that all night. So the best thing for you to do is to make sure that they haven't got to come chasing after you, so they can at least just stand still and just do
Right,
that.
right.
Because believe a lot of times, if you're doing something in the far corner, if you're beating somebody up in the far corner, have I gone through this before on this show?
I don't think so.
Okay, so if you think, oh, it's only 4 seconds, you got to break it 4 seconds or get disqualified, or should be anyway. If you got a good referee, right? You got 5 seconds to do your damage. If I do it in that far in the corners behind the cameras, again, what can you see? You can't see the person getting beaten up. You can't see. All you can see is your back. And by the time you're making that cameraman have to run up to try to get that shot, by the time he gets there, it's maybe 1 second before you've got a break because of the referee. If you're in the front corners where the cameramen are right there and right across the ring there, and there's a camera right on you there, and the producer can pick any one of those shots, you've got 4 seconds of bang, bang, and then that shot can and show the person who's getting beaten up, and that shot can show the whole thing. That 4 seconds, I have seen this happen numerous times. That 4 seconds can change your entire life, your entire career. Because it's, if you've ever seen Goodfellas, it's that shot of Robert De Niro stamping on the fella's head, Billy
Absolutely.
Batts' head. If Martin Scorsese shot it from the other side, and you just saw Robert De Niro's back, it wouldn't have the same effect. So it's up to you to find the cameras. Chris Jericho told me that, because I gave a talk to people at AEW about this recently, because incredible stuff, people do incredible stuff, but you've got to think about being a TV show and doing your stuff on air. Well, if you're doing it opposite to the cameras, it's great for the people in the building. It's not great for people at home. They're not getting to see. And you think, oh, it doesn't matter. It does matter, because every second you're on TV, it's precious time. And you want to get as much of this into there. That's another thing. It's because, the WWE make use of cameras. Yes, because they want to show you stuff. And you want to have the best TV show. You're making television. You're not, right? It's just a different mindset. You want to be able to see as much of what's going on as possible. If you're doing it all on the opposite side, it's, by the time these cameras get to you, a lot of times it's missed. Or if you're a move person, you're doing the move the opposite way. I'm getting half the move instead of an incredible move that I can see it. And there's ways of doing that. Again, I can talk for a long time about how there's a lot of stuff to learn, but it's the basic idea of, you need to be able to see as much of the people doing it as possible. Chris Jericho said it, that when he went to WCW, Jackie Crockett, who used to be the cameraman there, told him on his first day, if you can see the camera, I can make you a star. Right?
Wow.
So, but if you can't, yeah, you might, you give just your movement alone, or maybe you're one of those magic people, the people like The Rock can walk out, right? Because he's The Rock and he's got this incredible, just obviously just unbelievable charisma. He could walk out with a paper bag over his head and it'd still be The Rock, right? But he knows where those cameras
Yeah,
are. He
100%.
knows how to use them, right? And so does anybody else who's ever really got over on TV. It's very, very important. Some people get to WWE and don't like the fact, or used to, and I worked there, don't like the fact that WWE tells them to do that. They think they know better because they got over working wherever. Yeah, well, perhaps you're not getting a huge amount of TV, like you didn't, whatever TV you've done, it was okay, but now you've got a huge audience and people that run, and people who are paying you understand that they want to see as much of your face as possible, or your best moves done towards the cameras. If you don't like that, then you're not going to like working there. Right?
Right.
And there's also a lot of other stories I've heard, which is I don't want to get into because I don't want to fall out with all these People who ride back, I used to hear that a lot. Oh, they're keeping them in NXT
Right.
because they haven't used the cameras. Well, sometimes that was the case because look, you go up to the main roster or you want to be on this show. We need to see this. The people at home need to connect with you, and you can't connect with the back of somebody's head, right? Unless you are the one.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
you could be just the one
Right.
who has that magic, can do anything the opposite of everybody.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that just get thrown. There's a lot of things in wrestling get thrown out there by people, and they've got no idea what they're talking about
Absolutely.
because they've never had it explained to them. They just parrot things, or they have an idea. Well, oh, they don't know how to use the camera. Oh, well, I think that